Welcome to the Sparks of Hope Shooting for Success Summit. You will discover innovative talks for personal and business expansion with leading experts. Today, be ready to be infused with hope, strength, and confidence, and find powerful direction to lead you on a path of success. Join our 21 world-class speakers and experience inspiration, hope for your future, and an elevation of your desires. Inspired Choices Network, our summit hosts, are excited to have you here.
Hello. I am so glad you're here today and that you are choosing to light that spark within you and grow it into a fire that is going to shoot you off to success. I know that as you listen to all of these speakers, your life will be transformed. They've come with a heart of service and ready to give you everything they have. I'm no different. And so I hope today, as you listen to these stories and these 3 tips of how you can become strong and capable and light that spark of hope within you, that you will feel empowered to make the changes or to the pivots that you need to get where you're headed, where you are dreaming of going. A few years ago, I found myself sitting in a room, a very small room. In fact, it was my closet. I was surrounded by clothes because clothes are a great sound buffer if you have no professional equipment of any kind. And all I had was a cell phone and myself. Now, you're probably wondering why I was sitting in a closet with my cell phone surrounded by clothes. It was because I had attended a class and this teacher invited me to start a podcast. I did not want to start said podcast. I didn't want to do it. I was so angry. I was stomping around my house, up and down the stairs, maybe yelling a little bit. And I went upstairs to my champion hero, my husband, to tell him how I had been wronged because we'd wasted all of our money on this class. And he looked at me after I had ranted and raved, and he said, Brigette, why wouldn't you start a podcast? With your emotional resilience focus, your mental health focus, your spiritual focus, why wouldn't you start a podcast? And there is something about when your people, your ride or die, when that person questions you and you feel that like righteous indignation, when they question you, it makes you pause. And it did. It made me pause and my little heart cracked open just a tiny bit. And when that crack happened, the divine downloads came flooding in. I knew exactly who should be on the podcast, what we should be talking about, 6 seasons literally of content. It was incredible. It was incredible. The problem was I still didn't really want to start the podcast. And in my head, there were all these reasons. Who will listen to your voice? Who will even like you? Are you going to lose all of your friends if you do this? And so I find myself sitting in a closet, hearing all of the negative talk, all of the who are you to do this going on, all the junk. And then I'm finding myself record, delete, record, delete, record, delete, until I finally throw my hands up in the air. How will I even launch this? So all of these fears are coming up for me, and I am panicking, and the fear is rising. And so as the fear is rising, I finally throw my hands in the air and I say, you know what, God, this is stupid. Because I felt that divine download. I know I'm supposed to do this, and I can't do it because I am so scared. I am so scared. And I hear the words back, switch to 2 letters. Now I'm a little sassy. So I looked up and I was like, that's the stupidest answer I've ever heard. No, Brigette, pause. Switch to 2 letters from scared, S-C-A-R-E-D, to sacred, S-A-C-R-E-D. Because when you are scared, but you step forward anyway, you are stepping onto transformational ground. And transformation is sacred. Evolution of self is sacred. You are stepping onto transformational ground. Changed everything for me. It changed everything for me because now every single time I found panic or fear or self-doubt, oh, wait, pause. I am stepping onto transformational ground. I am stepping onto sacred evolutional ground. That is my hope for us today. As we talk through these concepts and as you listen to all these beautiful speakers, that you will open your heart, crack it open, and that you will be ready for sacred transformation. So I have 3 things that we're going to talk about. I'm so excited to talk about them with you. And the first one, the first step to becoming strong and capable and to filling your life with hope every day, no matter the storm, is understanding who you are on a divine level. Here's the deal. This is not trendy right now. Or if it is, it comes with a lot of pushback. But after years and years of coaching women specifically in leadership, what I have come to understand is that women who do not have a divine identity do not know who they are. And that means every single thing that happens in a business, in a family, even grocery shopping at the store, it rocks their world. Think of it like a Pablo Picasso painting. You know what I'm talking about? Can you picture it? It's the misshapen face with one big eye, one tiny eye, weird lips, different colors everywhere. This is our worldly typical identity. This is the, hey, tell me something about yourself. And you say, well, I work 2 jobs and I have 3 kids and I really like sparkles and I eat yogurt on the weekends because I'm trying to be healthy. These are the random facts that we tell people that we assume are our identity, but they are not. They are only pieces of our identity. When you know who you are, eternal truths, what are your eternal truths? And I don't care what they are. I'm not putting any one idea on any person. I'm saying, what are yours? Do you believe in energy that flows and is continuous before you were here and long after? Do you believe in ancestors that are watching over you? Do you believe you're a daughter of God? What do you believe personally, today and eternally? When you know what you believe and you have this foundation, there is a confidence, there is a surety that you get to walk through life with. And it is beautiful. So instead of Pablo Picasso, that when you lose a job or you get a divorce or you have a horrible tragedy in your life, if you're Pablo Picasso, when those things happen, it's like losing a whole chunk of you. And we have to scramble to find ourselves. It's so hard. It's so uncomfortable. But when you have a divine identity, it's more like picture yourself in your most glorious representation. And then all those things are colors around you. They are threads of who you are. It's beautiful and it's life-giving versus life-taking. Divine identity is everything. I keep a sacred journal. When I get those divine downloads, I write the words that come into my mind. And one day, as I was pondering, why do we need divine identity? What does it do for us? These words came into my mind. It is our purpose here on earth is to break up with the world and to court the divine, both the divine within ourselves and outside of ourselves. So when you become a seeker of divine, eternal truths, it truly grounds you and helps you feel peace in every situation, which is hope. Hope is peace. So that's the first thing. I also want to add that as I was studying emotional intelligence years ago, I found this institute called the Emotional Intelligence Institute. Literally, that's the words. And they had a rung, a ladder, a visualization of what does it look like to have emotional intelligence and resilience. And we build emotional intelligence through going through hard things and overcoming it, through affirmations, through gratitude. There are many ways we build it. But someone who has a very healthy emotional intelligence and resilience, at the top of that ladder, do you know what they had? They had a spiritual identity, a spiritual resilience. So by building this first, you strengthen your ladder all the way up. It's a beautiful, beautiful process. I invite you to please sit down and contemplate it. Okay, number 2, having and creating long-term vision in your life. This seems logical, I know, because I'm in a room full of visionaries. However, it's not logical when hope is sputtering or when things are hard. So if you know who you are with your divine identity, now the next thing is you have to decide, where are you going with that? What is your purpose here? What is the impact you want to leave in this life? And so having long-term vision is a beautiful thing. If you don't know how to create long-term vision, there are amazing workshops and coaches within this community that you can go to. But also, I would encourage you to think of, what is play for you? Is it playing the piano? Is it creating art? Is it socializing with people you love? What does it look like to play for you? So plan and schedule a specific time for you to play And then after that, create time to have vision. Because when we play, we open ourselves up to possibilities. We're a little light. We let that heart crack open even wider in play. And so when we are open to possibilities, we can dream in a different way. So whether you're a meditator, a journaler, make sure, or a vision board creator, make sure you create intentional time to create the vision. So that when the hope gets a little iffy, you can lean into that vision of who you are and where you're going. I had the opportunity to put together the event of a dream, my favorite event of 20 years of event planning. This was my favorite one a few months ago. And I did everything. And there were miracles happening. It was incredible. All the signs were there. Everything was in alignment. And then it fell apart. And it was devastating. But I didn't lose myself because I knew that this wasn't the end, that my dream would continue, and this was a place of learning. During that event, I wrote a poem. I put it over some of our marketing material, and it's so applicable to today. You're going to laugh. You're like, wow, this is where I'm supposed to be. You're going to see it through this. It says, hope. A small spark can light a fire. People are hurting. We live in a world that's isolating, dividing, and overwhelming. But hope is the last thing that dies. Where there is kindness, there is hope. Where there are dreams, there is hope. Where there is light, there is hope. And hope is the spark before the fire. When you seek light, you become hope. When faith feels too far, choose hope. Hope is everything. And vision is what keeps the spark alive in the hard times. So we did divine identity. We talked about vision. And the third thing is turning your brain into a superpower. This superpower that serves you and not your fears. Now, I'm thinking we're going to hear a lot about this at this conference, but I'm going to share with you my secret recipe for turning it into a superpower. This is something I do with a lot of groups and do a lot of workshops with. It's my favorite thing on earth. The first time I learned to do this, I was in shock. I didn't even know we could tune into our thoughts, know what was happening up there, and actually change them. So this is a secret recipe. I hope you choose to do this at some time in the next 24 hours. That's the challenge. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of paper. And for 60 to 120 seconds, you are going to thought dump. Now, this is a judgment-free zone. There's no shame in the thought dumping game. You're just going to go for it. And your thoughts are going to probably be all over the place. They're going to go, oh, I'm going to be late for this. I wonder how I look here. I wonder what we're eating for dinner. That's fine. Dump them all out. Your brain actually goes a lot faster than you're able to write or speak. So just write as fast as you can and dump everything out. Remember, no shame. This is exploring what's happening in your mind. So that's the first thing. The next thing you're going to do is start to look for patterns. The first time I did this, I actually said, I want Oreos 10 times. 10 times. I was like, what is this? Why? Why am I obsessed with Oreos? Let me tell you why. It's because I was very poor at the time. We had a $30 a week food budget. This was 20 years ago. And I had been taught growing up that when I emotionally struggled, chocolate fixes everything. So in my mind, in this horrible situation, if I could just buy a package of Oreos, life would be okay. It was about control. And it took me a while to unpack that, but knowing the thought was there allowed me to explore it. So you're going to look for something that's repeated over and over, or a theme. Let's say you're worried about one of your children or something in work. You're going to see your brain refer to that in many different ways. Like the child example would be, I wonder what my son's doing right now. Did he hear me when we were talking the other day? What are we going to do about next week? So you're going to hear many things in theme with this one fear or worry. I want you to take that thought and isolate it. Write it up top of paper. Next thing we're going to do is not rewrite that. Not yet. Not yet. Our brains like evidence. So we're going to seek evidence. Go to sources that you trust, sources that have changed your life or bring you truth. So for some people, that might look like a motivational book they love or the scriptures. For me, it's often Pinterest. I go to Pinterest Because I can type in the top of Pinterest, fear over money or body weight issues or whatever it is, or I need inspirational quotes to overcome my fear of speaking on the stage. Whatever it might be, you can literally type it in the top and you will find thousands of quotes and articles and blogs around this thing to draw inspiration from, to give your brain a new pathway and new information to operate from. So I like to write my evidence there, these new life-giving, life-affirming statements that I pull from my search, I write on my paper. And then at the bottom of the paper, now we get to rewrite a new statement that's personal to us. Now, this new statement, it should be in your language. It should not be in the language of someone you admire or super formal where it wouldn't make sense to you. It should be in the elevated language of you. And if you pause and sit with the struggle and sit with the new view that you want to choose, you will feel the words. They will come to you, I promise, if you allow the space and time for them. So for me, with the I want Oreos 10 times, I had something along the lines of my new statement would look something like, I am in control of my destiny. I get to choose peace and happiness. I am thankful and grateful for the things I have at this time. I accept myself unconditionally right now. These are statements that would come from understanding what the fear was. And then those statements could be posted on a mirror. They could be your computer screen background. You could throw them on your phone screen, but they become the thing that every time you feel that anxiety or those fears, or you just feel stuck, it shows up. For example, I can give you another example really quick. I was in Mexico on vacation with my family. We're sitting on the beach and we are loving life. We have a huge group of friends and I got triggered. There was something that someone said that just made me feel so anxious. And I was not excited about that because I was on the beach and I wanted to be enjoying it. So I actually paused. I left the group. I went back to our hotel room and I sat down and I did this exact exercise. And I realized that I had some uncomfortable feelings around a member of our party who made me feel like I was less than. She didn't make me feel that way. I was allowing that. And so in seeing what the problem was, where the words were coming in, where the fears and thought track were not helping me out, I was able to rewrite it and assure myself that I'm good to go. And there was so much peace and we had an amazing trip. So these things can pop up in the most unexpected places. But when you know how to rewrite them, you know how to change them, it changes everything. You change your thoughts, you change everything. Oprah Winfrey once said, she said that we have to have vision and that we can't operate from a formal reality. We have to operate from the reality we're creating. So that is that. So divine identity, I know who I am. Long-term vision, I know where I'm going. And brain superpower is I know how to get there because you do know how to get there. You know how to find the information and create the life you love. I know you do. My name is Brigette Heller, and I believe that every single one of you is strong and capable. I believe that you are strong because you've been through a lot, but a lot does not define you. Your scars, they don't define you. They tell your story. You get to define you. You get to create the reality that you love. And I believe that every single one of us is meant to impact the world for good. You are meant to leave your print here on this earth. You are meant to, but we can't do that if we are lost in the chaos of our life and everything that is frustrating and overwhelming. It's why I coach and I help people find their divine identity. It's why I create memberships like the Queen Circle, which you get a year free to if you sign up for it. It's why I do what I do. So in our last few minutes, I want to tell you one quick story. Many years ago, I had 10. I had my sister, Aubrey, who I love with all my heart. Aubrey is not like a lot of people. She's deaf, she has cerebral palsy, and she's in a wheelchair. She is sassy. She laughed and yelled on the roller coasters and cried on the carousel because it was too slow. Aubrey's sassy. Aubrey is my best friend in the whole world. And 10 years ago on Christmas, we got a call and it was her care center. And they said, Aubrey is aspirated. She is not doing well. you need to come now. So I jumped in the car, drove 18 hours to where she was, and I sat by her side for 2 weeks while her body deteriorated and fell apart. It was the hardest 2 weeks of my life. As she was preparing to leave this world, I sat by her side and I stroked her arms and her face and told her I loved her and what an honor it was to be her sister. And she got scared. And that scared me because I have divine, eternal beliefs. And it really scared me. It rocked my world. But I felt that divine whisper say, no, Brigette, she's not scared of what happens to her. She's scared of what happens to you after she leaves. And so I looked at her and I said, Aubrey, you are strong and capable. We love you. We will always love you. You can do this. It's okay to let go. I said that over and over. You are strong and capable. It's okay to let go. Until she took her last breath. Aubrey was part of my Picasso painting. When she left, such a chunk of me was gone that I did not know who I was in any way. I fell into the deepest depression of my life. Hope was not a thing. And on the day when all hope was gone and I was ready to let go of my life, I had plans. I was sitting in a church actually, and someone was speaking and I said, I don't care what you're saying. None of it matters. I'm good. I'm at peace. Doesn't matter all the beautiful things I have in my life. I'm at peace to go. I felt my sister's hands on my shoulders and I heard her whisper to me, Brigette, you are strong and capable. You are strong and capable. It's time to get up and go. Brigette, you are strong and capable. Get up and go. And it has been 10 years now of me figuring out what that even means to get up and go. But what it means is that I have the honor and privilege of working with amazing humans like you, of learning who we are, where we're going, and how we're going to get there, of creating a foundation and making an impact in the world. As I wrap up, I want to tell you how it ended. This podcast, the whole thing we started with, it ended with 1,000 downloads in the first month. It ended with me having the most beautiful relationships and friendships that I've ever had in my life because we were having divine, beautiful, deep conversation for hours on end and then sharing it with the world. It ended with me coaching other women how to start podcasts and their voices now being heard. It ended in the most incredible journey that I ever could have taken. And I ended that way because I chose to walk sacred. Hope dies if we don't fuel it, but the fuel of hope is possibility. I hope that you open yourself to possibility today, that you choose to walk sacred. And I hope that you know that the thing that you're most scared of right now in this moment, that is the thing that you are meant to conquer, that you are meant to go forward, that you are meant to start to take off your shoes and become the next evolution of yourself. That is who you're meant to be. You are strong and capable. You are worthy of all that is good in this life. Anything you dream of, any possibility, that's meant for you. If the hope is there, fuel that fire and get ready because the journey, it's only beginning. You've got this. I hope you know that. And if you have any questions, if you want to connect at all, www.thestrongandcapable.com. You can find me on Instagram, Brigette.Heller, Briggette.Heller, or you can find me on Facebook. Same thing. Like I said, make sure you go to the website and join the Queen Circle for free, and we get a coaching session. So take advantage of all of the VIP offers today, and I can't wait to
Thank you for joining this motivating talk on the Sparks of Hope Shooting for Success Summit. Inspired Choices Network and our expert speakers are excited to connect with you and learn about your hopes and desires to lead you to greater success. If you would like to learn more about everything Inspired Choices Network offers, including future summits, please email us at info@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.